afternoon, good morning, and good evening, my dear friends. This is Dr. Shama Hussain, founder and global CEO of International Institute of Influencers and International Life Skills Technologies Private Limited. So, dear friends, every journey has a destination. Every journey has a destination, and International Institute of Influencers has a very long journey. A very long journey that is humanization of education. Humanization of education, promoting education for life, not just for living.
Recording in progress.
So in this process, in this wonderful journey, we are our Empower Department International Trainings Forum, ITF, has come up with lots of international courses, international trainings affiliated with the most reputed and prestigious universities of the world. So today, our international diploma in educational psychology is on the verge, ready for graduation. So before that, we, International Institute of Influencers, have conducted today, organized international symposium for our wonderful empowered students who are nothing but educational intellectuals, who are doctorates, who are HODs and principals and teachers in their own organizations. So these international trainings endorses their ethics and values. Today we are here for cultural exchange between Nepal, India, and Philippines. We, International Institute of Influencers, are having the students of 85 students from different countries are here to conduct the exchange, cultural exchange of educational psychology. So my dear friends, without wasting any more time, let me invite our Group 1 leader, Dr. Gloria Ben. Dr. Gloria, we welcome you. Dr. Gloria is an amazing influencer.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to each and everyone who's watching right now with our international symposium. I'm so pleased that we're the first group and we'll consider the topic social emotional learning. But before that, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Gloria Vivian, Department Head of Values Education in Ramon Magsaysay Cubao High School. With my group, I have also a colleague from Ramon Magsaysay. I have here with me Ma'am Floriza Gonzalez, an English teacher of the junior and senior high school. Likewise, we have here Dr. George Cuevas, an English teacher of the senior high school, likewise. And also, I have with the group Mr. Sani Marcos, a SPED teacher. And another teacher, an English teacher also from Bagong Silangan High School. So we are pleased to be as the first discussant about the topic that we have. So we have chosen social emotional learning as our topic. We know very well that the COVID pandemic had greatly influenced the social and emotional learning of our students. So it's important to consider and give and present some practices that might help in our discussion. Okay, team members, you kindly open. Okay.
Hello.
So open your cameras, Dr. Sir Sani. Yan. Sani, where are you? Marlon, where are you? Okay. So to start with our discussion, I do know that psychological science tells us that social context, interpersonal relationship, and emotional well-being are important to student learning. So psychology can also offer guidance to parents and caregivers who may be facing challenges and fostering social emotional learning as they adapt to virtual or home education during this time of the new normal. So let me start with Ma'am Floriza Gonzalez. Can you further discuss what is social and emotional learning so that learners could adapt to as what we call the now normal way in a school as how they would learn?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Gloria Bien. So, social emotional learning, as defined by the group of researchers, educators, practitioners, and child advocates, is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. So it is more than the academic, more than the grades, the scores, the honors, but it is on dealing with emotions and dealing with other people.
Yeah, that's right. Knowing that, as they say, the home is the first learning institution or the learning venue that students learn. And likewise, in the school, how would you say how a social and emotional learning process took place in both environment?
So social and emotional learning in the classroom for younger kids. So teachers might spend time talking about self-control or have students sit in a circle to take turns sharing how they are feeling on a given day. So identifying emotions are a key part of the social and emotional learning framework for elementary students. So especially the teachers should ask first how they are feeling. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they angry? Are they mad on that specific day? So for older students, they might talk about coping strategies when dealing with grief, with violence prevention techniques, or what healthy and unhealthy relationships look like in families, friendships, and dating. So learning how to regulate emotions and respond appropriately in difficult situations is a big part of social and emotional learning, especially now that we had the pandemic. So students have so many things to say about their feelings, about the many changes that is happening around us. Whereas at home, social emotional learning at home, this is when we teach skills to children to help prevent future mental health struggles, behavioral problems, and addiction disorders. So teaching them the social emotional learning skills will help us avoid those. Social and
Our
emotional learning goals they are working on with students and provide resources to reinforce those learning goals at home. Just like parents might help with reading or math homework. So we do not just communicate the academic performance of the students, but we also communicate with parents. How are they behaving? How are they socializing? How are they managing their emotions? So that's
yeah,
how social and emotional learning works at home and in school.
yeah, that's right. So really, social emotional learning takes place in both environment, no? So the collaborative effort of the elders at home and the teachers in the school makes it more easier, so I would say, to relate and look upon the social and emotional learning of our students. And with that, Sir Marlon Marcos, I have a question with you, considering you are a special education teacher. Sir Marlon, are you there?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay. Sir Marlon, knowing that social and emotional learning could help the students, what are the 5 key skills that learners should develop in order to succeed in school, career, and in their life?
That's a good question. So there are 5 skills that learners should develop in order to succeed in school, career, and life. First is self-awareness. It involves understanding one's own emotions, personal goals, and values. This includes accurately assessing one's strengths and limitations, having positive mindset, and possessing a well-grounded sense of self-efficacy and optimism. High level of self-awareness requires the ability to recognize how thoughts, feeling, and action are interconnected. Second is self-management. Self-management requires skills and attitudes that facilitate the ability to regulate one's own emotion and behaviors. This includes the ability to delay gratification, manage stress, control impulses, and persevere thoughts challenges in order to achieve personal and educational goals. Third is social awareness. It involves the ability to understand, empathize, and feel compassion for those with different background or cultures. It involves understanding social norms for behavior and recognizing family, school, and community resources and support. Fourth component is relationship skills. It helps students establish and maintain healthy and rewarding relationships and to act in accordance with social norms. And it deals with skills involved communicating clearly, listening actively, cooperating, resisting inappropriate social pressure, negotiating conflict constructively, and seeking help when it's needed. Fifth component is responsible decision making. It involves learning how to make constructive choices about personal behavior and social interaction across diverse settings. It requires the ability to consider ethical standards, safety concerns, accurate behavior norms for risky behaviors, the health and well-being of self and others, and to make realistic evaluation of various action and consequences. Those are the five skills that learners should develop in order to succeed in school, career, and life.
Okay, thank you. For sure, those skills could be applied likewise to your learners who are said to be special students. They have some innate disabilities, but likewise, they could be able to adapt to such practices. Now, knowing the school is one of the primary places where students learn their social and emotional learning skills, how could school assure an effective implementation of the SEL? So how would that be?
Well, that's a good question. An effective SEL program should incorporate four elements represented by the acronym SAFE. S for sequence, connected and coordinated set of activities to foster skills and development. A for active, active forms of learning to help students master new skills. F stand for focused, emphasis on developing personal and social skills. And E stand for explicit, targeting specific social and emotional skills.
Okay, so that would be very helpful with that acronym SAFE, which is sequence, active, focus, and explicit. Thank you, Sir Marlon, for that very informative way as we can help assure that students will have safe and effective implementation of the SEL. Okay, so
Absolutely.
moving on. Okay, thank you. I have another question to Sir Marvin.
Hello, Dr. Gloria. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Okay. So good afternoon also. So as individuals continue to thrive and relate to each and every person, relationship needs to have a good way, or a good relationship with people around us should be established. So how do you think positive psychology is needed in order to establish a good way of dealing with other people?
Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Gloria, for that question. So before I answer that, I would like to say hi to everyone, and I'd like to say hello to all the viewers right now are watching us live on YouTube and even in Facebook Live. So going back to the question, Dr. Gloria, I think traditional approaches to psychology would say that fixing life problems is not just about being positive, but instead of trying to fix specific problems, positive psychology aims to build strengths so that we can cope better with life's challenges. Some of the strengths that positive psychology focuses on, and these three things are inspiration, resilience, and gratitude. So how these three things, inspiration, resilience, and gratitude, would help us establish good relationships. So let me focus first with inspiration. So inspiration would help us establish good relationship, especially not only to other people, but especially to me as a teacher. And I know that everyone could relate that when we are inspired as a teacher, when we go to school every day with enthusiasm, we can influence our students to become inspired as well. And when our students see us as a reflection of what they can become as a good person, they can do the same thing together with their classmates inside the classroom. And inspiration should also be the way we help our learners to view things, to view life as full of beauty rather than seeing the darkness that is happening around us. It's also a way of helping them to become happy students inside the classroom. Second thing is resilience. And resilience is not just about having the ability to withstand different challenges, but also the ability to use strategies to combat these challenges. And I think when we teach our students to become resilient inside the classroom, in what way? By knowing how to manage their time, how to apply study skills. These are ways in order for them to become resilient. And I think we have witnessed how our students became resilient, especially during the time of pandemic.
Yeah, I
Even
agree.
though
Yeah.
they face a lot of challenges, especially at this time, where they go to school, but they have the enthusiasm, they have the passion to go to school. And through us as teachers, we motivate them. We can see how good they are inside the classrooms. The third one is gratitude. And how does gratitude establish good relationship in the light of positive psychology? When we teach everyone, especially our students, to become appreciative of every little thing that we do as a teacher or their classmates have done to them, we can put a smile in their faces, and they can really see that the world is full of beauty. The world is smiling because we have been teaching them the kind of appreciation that should be manifested inside the classroom. And one of the things that will happen also inside the class, that when we try to affirm our learners, because that in psychology would always focus on the dysfunction, but positive psychology would definitely examine the life of everyone, that we need to live a happy life, a happier and fulfilled life. And one of the ways also that I learned from Rita Pearson, one of the most famous and expert in the field of education, she mentioned every time she influences her children, her students, she would always mention these words: class, repeat after me. These are positive affirmations. Class, repeat after me. I am somebody. I'm a better somebody when I came. I am somebody when I came in, when I entered this class, and when I leave this class, I become a better somebody. So that's how we try to build positive psychology inside the class. Gloria.
Okay, so that was very well said with what is all about positive psychology. Knowing that positive psychology has a big impact in our lives, not only the students, but in particular, what do you think is the importance of positive psychology for our learners?
That's a wonderful question, Dr. Gloria. And I think how does positive ecology impact or influence our students? I already mentioned some of those a while ago. And I think students, all our students have or always bring different packages inside the class. First, they would always bring different attitudes, different attributes, different levels of intelligence. But it is up to us as teachers. How can we incorporate a positive atmosphere inside the class? And how can we use our personality, our total personality as a teacher? And how can we use all the learning as a subject matter expert in order for them to become the excellent students that they can be? And research suggests that positive psychology have a impact on the academic performance of the students, that when an adult influence them with a positive way, just like teaching them how to become appreciative, teaching them to become more manageable in terms of their study skills, how they can be, how do they need to do their tasks. This help them to become efficient, effective, at the same time excellent students that they can be. And when we incorporate also the learning that we learn from International Master Diploma in Psychology, we can also bring light and influence not only inside our classes, but also to all the students out in the whole world. That's all, Dr. Gloria. Thanks so much.
Truly, Dr. Sir Marvin. And we thank you so much for the opportunity given by our mentor, great teacher, Dr. Shama, for introducing to us this positive psychology. So moving on to this relation of positive psychology, I guess we need also to consider this. So may I call on Sir George Cavas? In relation, sir, is he around? Dr. George Cavas?
Ma'am, I think Sir Cuevas is having some technical problems, so I can help him with his portion.
Okay. Yes, Ma'am Florisa, thank you for that, taking time to consider my question for him. So knowing that positive psychology has a big influence to our learners, how could possibly the new theory, or what we call the PERMA, acronym as PERMA, improve the well-being of a person?
Actually, I personally love this new theory, PERMA. It's not just for learning, but I can also use this for my personal for personal reflection. So the PERMA framework is a great place to start, as it looks to the key elements of positive psychology with its acronym. So P stands for positive emotion. So students can focus on things that make them feel good, like being recognized for quality work or having the chance to help a classmate. E is for engagement. So students feel absorbed by their work because they find it challenging but achievable. And it explores new ideas in interesting ways. So R stands for relationships. So students feel able to build strong connections with you and with other students through feedback and activities. And M is for meaning. Students understand the purpose of their work and why it's important for them to learn. And 8, to complete the PERMA, is for achievement. So students receive encouraging and honest feedback on their work and feel a sense of accomplishment and success.
Okay, so this PERMA would truly guide us as how we could deal with our students, no? With its easy to remember acronym, positive emotion, engagement, relationship, meaning, and achievement. So in addition, how is that to be, what benefit would we get from its application of the social and emotional learning?
Yes, Dr. Bien, I think I will take it from
Okay,
here.
thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
had some Zoom technicalities, but to answer your question, The benefits of the social and emotional learning, they both provide short-term and long-term advantages. For the short term, they promote the development of social and emotional skills, leading to more positive attitudes towards oneself, others, and tasks, including enhanced self-efficacy, confidence, persistence, empathy, connection, commitment to school, and a sense of purpose. Additionally, SEL programs foster positive social behaviors and relationship with peers and adults, reduce conduct problems and risk-taking behavior, decrease emotional stress, and improve test scores, grades, and attendance. And that's only, I could say, just the tip of the iceberg for the short-term benefits of self. Well, in the long run, greater social and emotional competence resulting from SEL can increase the likelihood of high school graduates, okay, readiness for post-secondary education, career success, positive family and work relationships, better mental health, reduce criminal behavior, and engage citizenship. And these are according to Hopkins and others. And most likely, we are already experiencing SEL in the reality of the classroom as well as in the families. As I remember, Dr. Shama once mentioned that we are already applying these skills. We are just not aware of them or the terms that we are, because these things are not entirely new, but the terms itself are new. That's why we haven't realized we have already been applying these social emotional learning skills to our students as well as to our peers. Dr. Bien?
Okay. So thank you so much, Sir George, for that clarification of the benefits of SEL or social emotional learning to our students, knowing that it has its immediate benefits and a long-term benefit, not for them also, but also to us as adults, as educators. So truly, as we could say that the integration of positive psychology in the class promotes a positive school climate, wherein both the teachers, the parents, and families could develop a shared vision, which I would say it is all for the common good of our learners to have a good and successful life. So with that, I thank you so much for listening and considering our topic, which said to be as very relevant during these days of the now normal way of learning. So at this time, I call on the group two to present their group to be led by their moderator, Miss Pinky Roduta. Take it away, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gloria Vivian, and congratulations. Good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to be with us today with our course International Diploma in Teaching 2022-2023, which has been organized by Dr. Shama Hussein, founder and CEO of the International Institute of Influencers. I hope everything is going well for everyone. I have the honor to be the moderator of this symposium. I am Ms. Pinky Aruduta, and I look forward to having a great time with you in today's symposium. Moreover, it is an honor to introduce to you the members of the group, starting with Ma'am Marisa Dalugdugan, a junior high school teacher in Bagong Silangan High School in Quezon City. Currently, she is taking her Master of Arts in Education, major in English at National Teachers College. Marisa?
Yes, Mom Pinky, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Dr. Sharma, and to all our
Good
classmates
afternoon.
who are with
Okay,
us.
good afternoon, ma'am. So I have a brief message. No. Educational psychology, of course, is a field that studies and applies theories and concepts from all psychology and educational settings by applying the principles and techniques of psychology. It tries to study the behavior and experiences of learners. As we have discussed with the scope of educational psychology, its focus is on the learner, the learning experiences, and learning process. In this regard, our group will discuss some current issues and trends in educational psychology that are related to what the teachers and students are dealing
Miss
with
Pinky?
in schools.
Sorry, Miss Pinky, shall we call the names of the people so that we can spotlight all of them at one in the frame first?
Yeah, first, Ma'am Mariza.
Yeah,
Ma'am
Miss Mary.
Marisa Dalungdugan. Second, Dr. Shama is Ma'am Hana Mupas.
Hannah, can you please speak? I will request if you can raise your finger or speak something. Just reply to your name so that we know. Already added. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Then, Miss Maris.
Okay, the third one is Miss Edeliza Papa. And the fourth one is Ma'am Criselda Udtohan. Dr. Shama.
Done. Thank you, Miss Pinky. Thank you.
Okay, so without further ado, I would like to first ask Ma'am Marisa. She will discuss the current issues in education. As a teacher, Ma'am Marisa, can you please share an issues in your school or in an educational setting in general that is prevalent today in relation to behavior of our students? Take it away, Ma'am Marisa.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Pinky. So as a teacher, I believe that one of the prevalent issues or current issues, not just in our school, but in various educational settings, is the increasing cases of bullying involving students. Okay, so we all know that bullying is one of the global issues in education or in many schools at present. Okay, so in fact, the World Health Organization or WHO found that 4 out of 10 children aged 13 to 17 years old have suffered bullying. Okay, so it is a very serious issue with long-term impact, both on the lives of the victim and the one who bullied. So I would like to emphasize the negative impact of bullying on the physical and emotional aspect of the student. Okay, so studies show that if you were bullied as a child, this have a lasting impact on your life, on your adult life. So the psychological impact of bullying may still very evident 40 years later. Okay, so many researchers found out that bullied students are more likely to get failing grades or just drop in school with no qualifications. So they leave school because they are bullied. So moreover, they often experience depression, low self-esteem, shyness, loneliness, and physical illnesses, and even attempted self-harm. So that was very serious alone. Okay, so apparently bullying has harmful effect on students' health, well-being, and also in their academic performance. So bullying can make students feel lonely, unhappy, and frightened. So as I have mentioned earlier, this could also lead to lack of interest in school. So as teachers, we don't like any of this, to be experienced by our students. That's why as early as possible, and if time allows, if we have opportunity, it is very important to discuss or to share, to spread awareness about bullying and its effect on the lives of others. So because sometimes these students are not aware that they are already being bullied, or on the other hand, they are already bullying other people. So by talking to them, by sharing to them what bullying is, and by discussing its negative impact, they become more conscious on what are the right things to do. So that's it, Mom Pinky.
All right. Thank you so much, Mama Marisa, for discussing the impacts of bullying to all students involved. To share with us trends in educational psychology that can be used as an intervention in dealing with cases of bullying in our school setting. Ma'am Hannah, as a guidance designate, what are the trends that school can utilize to address the prevalent issues of bullying? Take it away, Ma'am Hannah.
Thank you, Ma'am Pinky. Good evening, everyone. I agree with all the information that Ma'am Marisa discussed, no? Focusing on the negative impacts of bullying on students and its long-term effects. So, as a guidance designate in our school, these negative impacts that have been discussed were always present in most bullying cases that we handled at the discipline or guidance office. The behavior change among students, both for bullies and victims, were also exhibited even in their academic performance. To address the impacts of bullying to students that are identified as bullies, we can use the introspection method as an intervention, no? As one of the can incorporate the introspection method in our intervention. So as we have previously discussed, introspection is the process of self-examination where one perceives, analyzes, and reports one's own feeling. The student bully can ponder on his own mental state. He or she may also begin to think and analyze what and why he or she said or did such acts. Then she tries to frame the conditions of his or her mental processes by thinking to improve his or her reasoning to control his or her emotions. So with this method, the student bully is being aware of his or her emotions and feelings in relation to his or her behavior. Using this as an intervention, it can help student to become aware of of his or her skills on decision making, socialization, and self-awareness. So by using the introspection method as an intervention, we may expect behavior change, no, from student bullies. So I believe that we should treat bullies with positive discipline because they have their own well-being, no, rather than giving them sanctions. And as for the student victim, as what Mama Marisa discussed, they tend to leave school due to depression or low self-esteem. So after the student has been referred to counseling, he or she can undergo in an intervention based on positive psychology, no, especially perma-model. As what we have discussed, no, positive psychology is the study of happiness. So by using this model, the student victim is able to focus on his or her well-being. The awareness of PERMA can help them increase their well-being by focusing on combinations of feeling good, living meaningfully, establishing supportive and friendly relationships, accomplishing goals, and being fully engaged with life. Further nurturing these elements can help them go beyond surviving to really thriving in life. So here, by using this as an intervention, we are teaching them to be optimistic, no, to be positive thinkers despite the bad experiences they have dealt with. So I think that's it on our discussion on current issue and trend in educational psychology. Thank you for listening. Ma'am Pinky.
Well done. Thank you, Ma'am Marisa and Ma'am Hannah, for a very informative and insightful discussion on bullying. This school year, 2022-2023, we have shifted from online learning to physical or face-to-face learning. Aside from bullying, Miss Papa, Can you cite some of the issues or challenges and even trends that emerged in the field of educational psychology brought about this shift from online to face-to-face learning? Take it away, Ma'am Edelisa Papa.
Thank you, Ma'am Pinky. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yes,
I am
I'm
glad.
here, ma'am.
Thank you. I am glad to be part of this symposium tonight. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, and to all my classmates and guests who are with us today. So it is a given fact that distance learning has opened up a path of new learning methods, which involves the utilization of advanced technology, such as what we are doing right now. Some see it as an opportunity, but for many, it has become a source of struggle in the educational setting. In some cases, the adaptations that have to be made put a strain on the mental health of our learners or students. So allow me to discuss a few of research-based negative effects of or impact of online learning. So first is the social isolation. The increased use of online learning makes students rely on technology instead of interacting and communicating with others. Thus, it decreases the growth of communication skills and results in increased social isolation. This social isolation results in various health and mental issues like stress, poor sleep, anxiety, depression, and negative thoughts among our students. Another problem students have encountered is a lack of skills. The online education method is inadequate in face-to-face interaction and in providing various skill development opportunities. Due to this gap in interactions, the students may undergo the low skills that they need for their overall growth. Students may lack skills like, what are these skills? Skills like communication skills, time management skills, self-discipline, creative thinking, teamwork, or even public speaking. So these skills are the most important skills that define the overall growth of students for their future. Online learning may cause low efficiency performance in their academic years. Plus, students lack many activities which are important for the proper growth of their mental health, like field sports, debate activities, events or games, contests, or community involvement. Another one is the effect on their mental health. The traditional education system provides many opportunities to learn skills through activities like life skills games, co-curricular activities, and classroom interactions. So this leads to the complete development of emotional quotient and intelligence quotient among our learners. But unlike the traditional education system, online learning impacts differently on mental health. It decreases the chances of cognitive growth. The online learning method is affecting the mental health of our students from every aspect, such as depression, anger issues, anxiety, low mood or lack of interest, self-esteem issues, demotivation and isolation. So it is essential to keep in mind that all these aspects can harm the entire future of the student, and also it may turn into lifelong problems. So these are just a few of the negative impacts or effect of online learning, okay, among our students. Okay, back to you, Ma'am Pinky.
Okay, indeed, no? As what Mom Edelisa mentioned, online learning has negativity impact on students' psychological aspects and academic performance, which could lead to students to have anxiety and depression as well. With that having said, it is crucial for teachers to create and initiate solutions to help students overcome the underlying challenges. Now, to share worthwhile solutions on how to effectively surpass the problem about online learning, here is Ma'am Chris Otohan. Ma'am Chris?
You're muted. You're muted. Still you're muted, Miss Chris. You're muted.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so thank you so much, Ma'am Pinky. So before I start, allow me to greet everyone and those who are watching us live via YouTube a pleasant morning, afternoon, or evening to all of us. And to our head, Dr. Shama, and to all of us who are here in our Zoom class, good evening. Okay, so here are some of the effective solutions we could use in order to alleviate the distraction or harmful effects of online learning to our students. First, so create a study system to concentrate on. So creating a separate on their studies and avoid distractions. Set a healthy diet and sleep timetable to cover the mental and physical health. A healthy diet and enough sleep are equally important to our studies. So try to fix a healthy diet chart and comfortable sleep schedule in order to keep yourself fit and fine. So third, maintain a routine to work on academic performance. While establishing a schedule will compromise going out and living a healthy lifestyle, students can find security in it. The monotony can be broken up by setting a regular wake-up and bedtime. Preparing for online classes the same way they would for in-person ones and taking breaks. So maintaining the proper routine can definitely help students to achieve goals. Self-motivation to get over social isolation. To succeed in the online learning environment, building disciplinary skills and strong self-motivation can help. Students can work on their skills and build a robust self-motivation system that would allow them to conquer to every challenge. And the last is interacting sessions with other students to work on communication skills. Students can do interaction sessions with other students so that they can learn communication skills and other ethical skills. Also, it can help to blend learning environments. That's all, Ma'am Pinky, and thank you so much. Back to you, Ma'am Pinky.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Chris, for the beneficial solutions you have shared. Thank you also to all the members of Group 2, and of course, to Dr. Shama and all our classmates. So these challenges in educational psychology discussed by Group 2 don't have to stop and that teaching and learning goes on. Again, this is Ma'am Pinky, head teacher from North Fairview High School, and I would like to turn you over to the next group. May I call on Dr. Verlene G. Ray. Dr. Ray?
Thank you so much, Ma'am Pinky.
You're
Rodota.
welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone, most especially to our mentor, Dr. Shama. So this composed Group 3. We have Ma'am Reynalda Santos, Ma'am Mary Jane Valiente, Ma'am Rosita Cepeda, and Ma'am Eileen Gaspar. Yeah, you are being spotlighted now. Yeah, one by one. Okay, a pleasant evening to each and everyone, most especially to our dynamic mentor, the founder and CEO of International Institute of Influencers, Dr. Shama Hussein. This is your moderator, Dr. Verlene G. Ray, an LR coordinator and a teacher for 28 years in the Gatan Integrated National High School. It is indeed a great privilege for us Psychology of Education students to be part of this magnificent symposium headed by our magnificent mentor, Dr. Shama. And our group will be focusing on SWOT analysis, for we all know that SWOT analysis
aid each one of us to evaluate our strength, weaknesses, or even the opportunities and threats we encounter every day, not only in our workplace, but everywhere. By the SWOT analysis, it evaluates the person within us and enables us to become the better version of ourselves. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you our first speaker sharer who will be answering, or let's say sharing her idea to the question, or perhaps based on her experience. So our first speaker sharer is a licensed nutritionist dietitian for more than 20 years of experience in the hospital, food, and retail industry. Also a professor in college and an educator in senior high, both private and public school for 10 years, a master of business administration and a holder of an international certification in the hospitality industry, and a certified hospitality professional. Ladies and gentlemen, a virtual round of applause to Ma'am Reynelda B. Santos. Ma'am Reynelda?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, ma'am, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's your question. What experiences, resources, or connections do you have access to that others don't have?
Thank you for that question. And again, good afternoon, everybody. To answer that question, I will consider my more than 20 years of work experience in the hospitality industry, retail, and in the academe, which means that I have more than 20 years of experience to share to my students that is not written in textbooks or one that can be read on the internet. I have actual and factual information of what is going on in an organization which is relatable to the subjects that I am teaching. Whatever it is that I teach, I share with it my experiences also, and that's what makes it real. However, not all people have the same number of years and work experience like I do. Others may have more or lesser years of experience than mine. But we all have different attributes to consider as our strength, like strong communication skills. They can communicate information effectively and engagingly to keep their students' attention. However, communication doesn't stop in talking. Other teachers are active listeners. They listen to students about their fears, concerns, struggles, and listening helps teachers understand their students' educational needs so that lessons can be tailored to their needs. Teachers spends hours at a time on our feet or in doing paperwork, which is taxing physically and mentally. With the intensity of this profession, I know you'll agree with me that only passionate teachers like us continue teaching each day. Empathic teachers can tailor their educational approach to their students, while patient teachers can contribute to more positive teacher-student relationships. On the other hand, best teachers are excited to teach others everything they know. They love sharing their secrets to success, knowledge, and major insights. Education involved experimenting with many teaching methods and communication styles, which the teacher eagerly shares her best practices with her students and co-teachers. Look, I could go on and on regarding the strength of an efficient teacher. Still, we must remember that different individuals have different personalities, characteristics, and experiences which can be considered as their strength. All you have to do is to take inventory of your positive traits, successes, skills, work experiences, and don't forget the investment that you spend on yourself, because self-investment can be your strength also. Then use that to your advantage to being an efficient teacher or being the best version of who you can be. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Ray.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Reynalda. Truly, 20 years of service is noble. That can be a motivation to everyone to continue striving hard, not only to benefit oneself, but others. I love the line, and I quote, with the intensity of this profession, only a passionate teacher continue teaching each day. And those teachers are we. We are those teachers. So that is very true. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let me call our next speaker sharer, who is a master's degree holder and a teacher 3 at F. Cirano Senior Elementary School. Let's give it up to Mom Mary Jane S. Valiente. Mom Mary Jane.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Verlin. A pleasant evening to each and everyone.
So are you ready, Mom Mary Jane?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's your question. What fears do you have that might be holding you back to conquer your weaknesses?
Okay, thank you, Doc, for that question. SWOT or SWOT means strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Individuals can use a self-SWOT analysis as a technique to evaluate their own strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It can be an effective tool for people to explore their objectives, experiences, and skill sets that can influence their growth both personally and professionally. Self-SWOT analysis can be used to help people find their areas of strength and growth. Examine the chances that are accessible to them and think about how to seize them. For me, the fears that may be holding me back to conquer my weakness is very related to my own experience, which is afraid of failing as a mother and at the same time as a teacher. Being a mom of 3 kids is very difficult to handle and to raise them. Sorry. I've always wanted to be a perfect mother to them, but I failed already by losing one of them. The question that always bothered me is how to be a good mother. I'm afraid to face my weakness, but because of the challenges that I've always encountered, I've learned to face it and fight it. Determine the probable risks or difficulties that may encounter and make plans to reduce or overcome them. You can set your objectives and create a strategy to attain them. Think about what you value most in relation to your goals, your capacity for self-awareness and recognition of your own shortcomings. But how do you determine your areas of weakness? First, find difficult or are not very excellent at. Second, lack of certain talent or expertise, as well as personality traits that limits you. So these are the examples of weaknesses. Find out what your weaknesses are. So these are the areas where you find difficult or are not exceptionally skilled. Your lack of a certain talent or expertise, as well as traits of your that limits you. That is for the weakness. That is for the weaknesses. Thank you very much. And once again, good evening.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Mary Jane, and sorry to hear that. So very true indeed that the greatest fear we have as a mother is to fail. That's why we are doing our best as a mother and and as a parent to conquer the fear, to give them the best, the very best that we can give and do to them. That's really a realization. Thank you so much, Ma'am Mary Jane.
Thank you so much.
So for our third speaker sharer, is an educator for 32 years in Justice Cecilia Munoz Palma High School. A grade 10 MAPI coordinator with masteral units, and soon will definitely become a master's degree holder. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, Mom Rosita I. Cepeda. Mom Rosie.
Thank you very much, Dr. Berlin. Good day, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Shama, and to all the guests of honors who are with us tonight.
Mom Rosie, are you ready for the question?
Of course, Dr. Berlin. Thank you.
So here's your question. How can you turn your weaknesses into strengths and threats into opportunities?
As a psychology teacher, it is very important how we can handle our weakness, especially in our field of education. However, let me start answering you by one quotation from Jamila Jamil. She quote, "Every twist and turn in life is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself, your interests, your talents, and how to set and then achieve goals." A common technique used by people to achieve their goals and overcome challenges is to turn weakness into strength and threats into opportunities. Be honest about your abilities and shortcomings. Be specific and comprehensive. And don't be shy about seeking out other people's opinions. Identify your weakness and threats first, or identify your limitations and potential threats to your goals. Try to find ways to make your limitations into strengths rather than focusing on what you can achieve. Look for opportunities to practice and develop your abilities. Exploit your strength. Pay attention to your advantages and think about how you might use them or overcome your weakness and strength and threats. Identify opportunities in every threat, whether it is a chance to learn something new and develop yourself, or an opportunity to learn new skills or tactics. Use your imagination and do not be scared to take chances. Be flexible and open to opportunities and difficulties that arise. Accept change, accept failures, and the chance to develop and learn. And keep working hard to transform your weakness into strength and your threats into opportunities. Believe in yourself. You can turn your weakness into strengths and threats into opportunities. I hope what I share will help you achieve your goals and overcome challenges along the way. Again, thank you, Dr. Verlin.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Rosita. I agree that we have to maximize our strengths by conquering our weaknesses to every obstacles that we encounter every day. So, like what Ma'am Rosita have said, be honest, accept and overcome your weakness and develop it as your strength. Very well said, Ma'am Rosita. So let's proceed with our last but definitely not the least speaker sharer. She is a graduate of Master of Arts in Christian Education, a teacher 3 in West Fairview High School, teaching for 17 years, a learning resource coordinator, and a guidance designee. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, Ma'am Eileen F. Gaspar. Ma'am Eileen? Ma'am Eileen, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, so here's your question. How can we find out strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, and threats?
Again,
Ma'am Eileen, is there a problem with your audio?
ma'am, can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you clearly.
Okay naman.
Loud and clear, ma'am.
Okay, again. Good evening, everyone. Especially to Dr. Sharma and our guest. Before I begin, I need to start from my screen. SWOT as a method of assessment that helps identify and discuss opportunities and threats.
Ma'am Eileen, we cannot hear you clearly. I'm sorry, we cannot hear you clearly.
How about now, ma'am?
Yes, Ma'am Eileen.
How about right now?
Okay, that one is better.
Oh, thank you so much. Again, good evening. SWOT allows a method of plan. Helps identify and reduce. You may have used to evaluate your function or look at external factors. Again, my group is already discussed. Okay? Discuss and same frame, discuss about. That's everything that's
Can't hear Miss Eileen.
Ma'am Eileen, we cannot
Yes,
hear.
ma'am.
Not so clear.
Oh my God.
I think she has a problem, but try whatever from your side, Miss Eileen. Just
How about
okay.
right now, ma'am? My God. How about right now? Am I audible right now, ma'am?
Right now you are audible.
Oh my God.
Stay in put. Stay in put, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Ayan. Let's continue. Ma'am, let's continue.
Yes.
Okay. Compare the two its school. There is one kind of country for internal or and laptop and internal community. That's how and review some correct. And it's not about right why that in the moment it's to spend right that's for us to move on that's an happiness start and reflect on our
No audio.
again.
I think she has a technical problem.
Because it's outside, ma'am. My God.
Ma'am Eileen?
Hello, ma'am.
We cannot hear you clearly, Ma'am Eileen.
Hello, ma'am.
Lapit sa mic.
Yan, ma'am.
Dikit sa mic.
Ito din po. Yan, ma'am.
That one is better.
My God. Okay lang po. My God, I'm sorry. Okay, to manage stress and to manage stress, it's essential to anticipate them and before they become a problem. Turn up highlight those. They identify stress and well as overcome them. This can help ensure our
I think Dr. Ravi will go with the next speaker. Yes. All right, thank you, Ma'am Eileen. I'm sorry, Eileen, for trying to share your idea and experience with us, but I think you have a technical problem. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
All right, so we do not have any speaker, Dr. Shama. So once again, a virtual applause to all of our speaker sharer for their inspiring ideas and experiences. And for the final message of our group, I myself is truly thankful to dear Dr. Shama Hussein for being such a wonderful motivator who never failed to inspire us in every knowledge she shares in every session. I personally ask forgiveness for I won't able to submit my project on time, Dr. Shama, but I promise to make it up to you. And thank you for the wonderful time. So at this point, once again, may I call Ma'am Reynalda B. Santos for your message.
Ma'am, that might take time. We can call the next group.
They just wanted to give a simple thanks to III and the influencers. All of them have prepared their messages for Dr. Shama.
Probably later in the because of the...
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So in behalf of my members, my group members, we would like to thank Dr. Shama, okay, for the wonderful time, for the knowledge that you've imparted to all of us. And this is not, as we said last time, this will not be the end of our journey. And thank you so much for always for being so kind and understanding to all of us. So for the next group, for group 4, I am calling, the floor is yours. I am calling Dr. Esther Philin. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Berlin.
Hello, good evening. We are the group 4. I'm Dr. Esther Lim. My members are Dr. Ulysses Yu.
Good afternoon.
Miss Betty Kakutan. Mr. Sean Christopher Gitap, and Miss...
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, very good. And Miss Angeline Manansala.
Good afternoon.
Okay, we are complete. Mr. Sean, kindly raise your hand. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are here proudly presenting ourselves as members of International Institute of Influencers family through the leadership of our great leader, Dr. Shama Hussein, as she ignites, inspire, and influence us once again with positivity to further our knowledge as educators in the field of psychology. After weeks of training, I believe everyone here tonight are more knowledgeable, upgraded, and empowered to fulfill their duties and responsibilities as members of the academe. Now, to start with the symposium proper, we are the group 4. Welcome, distinguished participants. Our topic is Unleashing the Potential, Exploring Multiple Intelligence in Educational Psychology. Today, we delve into the fascinating realm of multiple intelligence and their profound impact on educational psychology. I am Esther C. Lim, Vice President of Philippine Cultural College, Caloocan. And with me, my good friend, Dr. Ulysses Yu, Chinese Supervisor of St. Stephen High School. Miss Betty Gakutan, Discipline Officer of Philippine Cultural College, Caloocan. Miss Angeline Manansala, Guidance Advocate for Junior High School and Senior High School of Philippine Cultural College, Caloocan. And Mr. Sean Christopher Gitap, Guidance Advocate for Kinder and Elementary of Philippine Cultural College, Caloocan. Tonight, they will share their testimonies and insights about the topic. To kickstart our discussion, let us begin with a brief overview of multiple intelligence in educational psychology presented by my dear friend, Dr. Yu. Dr. Yu, the floor is yours.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Shama. Good evening, our classmates. So, multiple intelligence is theorized and developed by, as we all know, psychologist Howard Gardner, suggesting that intelligence is not a single, unitary concept measured solely by IQ tests. Gardner further indicated that intelligence is not confined to a single measure, but comprises a range of distinct abilities, as we all know. These include linguistic, logical, mathematical, spatial, bodily kinesthetic, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistic, and existential, or spiritual intelligence. Recognizing and nurturing this diverse intelligence in the educational psychology allows us to tap into each student's unique strengths and facilitate their holistic development.
Dr. Yu, how do we incorporate multiple intelligence in education?
Thank you for that question, Dr. Esther. So by exploring multiple intelligences, educators can actually create a personalized learning tailored to students' needs and strengths. We can employ diverse teaching methods, integrate project-based learning, utilize various assessments, and cultivate an inclusive classroom. So each one of them is tailored for each of our students' needs.
Thank you, Dr. Yu. In addition to Dr. Yu's overview, the theory of multiple intelligence is often confused with learning styles, but they are different. Multiple intelligence focuses on abilities and skills that can be developed through practice, while learning styles focuses on preferences. For example, how information is processed and presented. Research supports multiple intelligence while learning styles lack evidences. Moving forward, Mrs. Gakutan, as someone who has worked in the academe for so many years, how do you think exploring multiple intelligence or MI can enhance educational psychology practices?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dr. Lim, Dr. Sharma. I'm very sorry for a technical problem a while ago. Okay, thank you for that question, Dr. Lim. So to answer, understanding and applying the concept of multiple intelligence can significantly impact educational psychology. By recognizing that individuals possess different strengths and learning preferences, we can tailor educational experience to suit their specific needs. By knowing the various intelligences, we can design interventions that are fit to the students, instructional strategies, and assessment methods that resonate with learners, fostering more profound engagement, motivation, and overall achievement. It can also be a guide in career guidance for our guidance counselor. Thank you, Dr. Lim.
Wow, that's very interesting. And what tool did we use to measure and determine their multiple intelligence? Mr. Gitap, can you share?
Okay, thank you for that question, Dr. Lim. And actually, as a psychology graduate, we utilize a psychological tool called the Readiness Assessment Test for senior high. That is also known as RAS, based on its acronym. No? And to measure and determine the multiple intelligence of our greatest students, RAS guides educators, guidance counselors, and students in evaluating the compatibility between their abilities and interests and the requirements of the current strand, okay? And this assessment tool assists in identifying dominant intelligence and provide valuable insight to inform instructional planning and career guidance. So that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Gitap. And as a guidance counselor in career counseling, what insights can you provide regarding the administration of RUSH and its influence on students' career choices? Ms. Manansala, can you answer the question?
Thank you for that question, Dr. Esther Lim. as a guidance counselor, we administered the RASH exam to our grade 10 students in Philippine Cultural College. So the RASH results give me a basis for my career counseling. So it's my framework when I counsel students, when they ask me about what strand should they take in senior high. So I help them tailor recommendations and help them align their strengths and interests with potential career paths. For instance, if a student excels in spatial intelligence, I can suggest career in architecture, graphic design, or interior design, and the likes. So with that, it capitalizes on their visual spatial abilities, which is very important if you're going to take architecture or any art-related career in the future. By connecting their intelligence to specific career options, I can guide students toward professions where they are more likely to thrive and find fulfillment. So it avoids some kind of shifting in college because before taking their strand or their college course, they already know what specific strengths they have and which course do they fit in. By leveraging the results of RASH, I can guide students in making informed career decisions that align with their unique strengths and interests, as I've said earlier.
Very good. And what components, this is a follow-up question. What components or domain are measured in the RASH, the Readiness Assessment for Senior High School Test?
Okay, so by the way, I'd like to inform everyone that the RASH is administered through online. So it has three components or domains. The first one is it measures or it's an achievement test. So an achievement test determines whether the student is knowledgeable of the applied track subjects necessary for senior high school. So do they fit or are they ready to take the senior high strand or to enroll already in senior high? So with achievement test, it measures or it finds out what do the students learn. So then another component or domain is the ability test. It measures the innate skills on the specialized tracks and strands. So like for example, uh, mathematics. So it specializes on STEM. So it mostly specializes on the STEM strand. So mostly of the students who scored high in mathematics might get a result that or they might get result that they are fitted to enroll in a strand senior high. And then the last domain is the occupational interest inventory, which aims to identify a student's career preference in pursuing a certain track of strand. So this is more of what is their interest or preferences in taking up their strand or their course. That's it, Dr. Lim.
Thank you for those insights. That's very interesting and very informative. Thank you, panelists, for your valuable insights. Indeed, the exploration of multiple intelligence empowers educators to design instructional strategies and methods that engage and motivate students, leading to enhanced academic achievement. Schools should prioritize the integration of multiple intelligence in their curriculum and policies to create inclusive learning environments that celebrate the diversity of students' abilities. I believe when educators are given the freedom to move away from the traditional, visually based methods of teaching, they will have the opportunity to reach more students more effectively. By teaching to the dominant learning intelligences, teachers will find students to be more productive, more receptive, and more willing to engage in the learning process. As so, many educators have already embraced this multiple intelligence theory. It is time for educational administrators to take notice of new techniques that can be successfully based on the research of Howard Gardner and other researchers who have followed. This symposium has shed light on the profound impact of multiple intelligence in educational psychology. Let us continue to embrace this knowledge and unleash the potential within each learner. Thank you all for joining us and listening to us. Now, let us welcome Group 5, led by Ms. Mercedes Laguna.
Thank you so much, Dr. Esther Lim. First, I would like to greet each and every one of you a pleasant day. Thank you for the opportunity being a part of this symposium. In this Master's Diploma in Educational Psychology course of International Institute of Influencer, which had been organized by Dr. Shama Hussain, the founder and the CEO of III. It's an honor to be the moderator of Group 5 in this symposium. My name is Dr. Mercedes de Laguna, a master teacher of Toro Hills Elementary School, SDO, Quezon City. So this is it. Allow me to share a quote that no matter how brilliant your mind or strategy, if you're playing solo game, you will always lose out to a team. That is according to Red Hoffman. So to make the organization successful, every team played an important part. Kindly tune in because we will discuss the leadership styles and strategies from the group of teachers who have been practicing some leadership styles in their organization. But before going on it, I would like to give a short insight that building relationship is a key component of leadership. It is more than human endeavor. Leaders have power to sway and direct their subordinates, enhancing the organization's effectiveness in attaining its objective is in their hand. There you have it. Now let us hear from the board of panelists to share their knowledge, ideas, and their best practices when it comes to strategies and style as leader. Now, at this juncture, allow me to introduce to you the 4 panelists. First panelist, she is a master teacher of North Fairview SDO Quezon City School. For her, working in an organization is her passion and teaching her learners is her stress reliever. Friends, let's all welcome Ma'am Romana G. De Guasco. Good day, ma'am.
Good day too, Ma'am Mercedes.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving forward to the second panelist, she is a graduate of Masteral in Educational Management in Trinity University of Asia. In the same school, she had completed the academic requirements CAR in Doctor of Education. She has been teaching for almost 3 decades now. She is a master teacher from North Fairview Elementary School, SDO Quezon City. She is an humanization advocate. A round of applause to Ma'am Marites E. Gabiola. Good day, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Moving on to the third panelist. She is serving the little ones for almost 28 years in her beloved school and served at Teacher 3 in North Fairview Elementary School, SDO Quezon City. Her passion to teach can never be paid because her dedication in her career is her priority. Friends, she is no other than Ma'am Sharon P. Cabardo. Good day, ma'am.
Warm regards, everyone.
Of course, the last but not the least, definitely, of course, our fourth panelist, a teacher of North Fairview Elementary School, SDO Quezon City. She is young at heart, but pioneer teacher. In fact, she had been serving 3 decades in teaching. She believes that the greatest asset of the school is in the personality of the teacher. At this point, a round of applause to Ma'am Cynthia G. Ortula. Good day, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for having with us today. There you have it, our 4 dear panelists and discussants to elaborate the topic of leadership styles and strategies. Without further ado, let's start. My question for the panelists is, if you are to choose what leadership styles and strategies to impart in your organization to be an effective leader, and why? Anyone can answer.
Good evening.
Yes, your floor. The floor is all yours, Ma'am Marites G. Gabiola.
Thank you, Dr. Mercedes Laguna. First and foremost, I would like to extend my love and dedication to my III family, my school home, to our dynamic and very supportive CEO and founder of III, Dr. Shama Hussein, my co-panelists, moderators, classmates, and also to Dr. Gloria Bien. A pleasant evening. Indeed, it is my honor to be part of this remarkable evening, an international symposium that opened a doorway, an endless opportunity in my journey, power, and humanizing education. Educational psychology is one of the ingredients that it is connected to any leadership style. One leadership style is supportive leadership. It emphasizes human compassion and dignity. Supportive style leads to empower in the workplace for achieving higher position in the future. It also influences and inspire to uplift more learnings, not only for ourselves, but internationally as well. It also guides by providing directions for better outcome for the team. And not the least component of supportive leadership style is command. It challenges everyone in accomplishing some performance task gainfully. Practically speaking, an example of supportive leadership style wherein I adopted are the 2 leaders and influencers who are with us tonight. I am proudly present to you. The 2 leaders are Dr. Shama Hussein and Dr. Gloria Bien. Both of them displayed supportive leader style. They are very considerate toward their followers. They work from the same level as they coach. Thank you, III, for molding in my humanizing educations. Since I opened to the Philippines, my journey started and I got an awesome experiences. Being a supportive leader to my learners and colleagues, it really works. And applicable in my present situation. In fact, 7 out of teachers within my grade level promoted to a higher position. I am proud to III and also to myself. Once again, my heartfelt gratitude to III, Dr. Shama Hussein, for your untiring shepherding to us. And before I end, may I also acknowledge to Ma'am Carol for her tirelessly support for the team. Mabuhay. That's all. Go back to you, Dr. Laguna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ma'am Gabiola, very well said. On that note, a supportive leader style requires really a few characteristics from the leader, such as the empathy, the trust, tolerance, and the confidence. This leader helps teamwork through issues and provides a high degree of coaching and support. The supportive leader works closely with the team, but also allow the team the freedom to independently deliver to the objective. Okay, so at this point, any more from the board of panelists?
Yes, Dr. Laguna.
Go ahead, Ma'am Sharon P. Cabardo.
Good evening, great III family. I've influencer, the emotionally intelligent leader, Dr. Shama Hussein. Tonight, I am lucky enough to be here from the Philippines and felt elated, one of the panelists. Well, I will share with you the achievement-oriented style of leadership. A leader assuming complete control over the decision and activities of the group. A leader that complete important tasks first, then move on to smaller tasks. Leader focuses on challenging time, maintain momentum, boundaries to help face challenges ahead with great professionalism. On the other hand, the contingent reward leader clarifies the role and task requirements, as well as performance criteria, rewards upon accomplishing desired goals. Lastly, the entrepreneurial function of an achievement-oriented leader, discovery assessment, and exploitation of opportunities, new products, new strategies, and organizational forms, and new markets for the products and inputs that did not previously exist. Good evening, my III family. Proud to be one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Cabardo. Very clear of your chosen style. That achievement-oriented leader addressed many advantages, such as an increasing productivity and workplace collaboration. Learning about this leadership style may help you decide if you want to implement it within your own team. Now, any more who wants to answer? From Ma'am Cynthia Artola. Ma'am? Ma'am, wala po kayong audio. Ma'am Cynthia Artola, audio please. Okay, so I'll be back for you, Ma'am or Cynthia Artola. At this point, any more who can answer the question? How about Ma'am Romana C. Diguasco.
Again?
Yes, ma'am. It's your floor. It's your turn, ma'am.
And most especially to Dr. Shama Hussein. Tonight, let me share about inspirational leadership style. Inspirational leadership style from the word inspirational focuses on inspiring others by allowing them to be excited, to be thrilled, to pursue overall goals, allowing them to explore and discover new things, be it in society, to realize and actuate the goal setting, how to collaborate with others, coming up with a sound decision, and handling organizational things for the betterment of the organization. The quantity of leadership within my organization is often a factor in its success. So, many educators give a certain amount of respect and obedience to a leader due to their position in the school. Simply holding a leadership title does not guarantee that I can lead my team towards achieving personal and professional success and create a culture of motivation in my workplace. For example, being an inspirational leader, I can empower others to develop a passion for their work and how they accomplish it, to develop the talent of my fellow educators, and we can help our school organization by demonstrating our commitment, work, and values. However, according to UP, identifying problems that will occur will eliminate good suggestions, welcome criticisms, and overconfidence will seemingly be evident. Once leaders are being innocent, problems will take place, and most likely, it will lead to failure. The most fatal thing is project staff will be at its downfall. Lastly, an inspirational leader will develop talent and provide them with opportunities to grow. They are able to take a risk on a person to stretch them. They have a desire to develop their team members and push them outside their comfort zone and are prepared with a safety net if the individual falters. Thank you for listening and once again, good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Diguasco. Sound interesting. I understand we need that because great leaders inspire their people with why they do what they do instead of what and how. When employees believe their work matters, when they have purpose and align with the mission of the organization and their leader, they are more creative and productive. They care because their leaders skillfully communicate and genuine care. That sounds great. Now let's go back to Ma'am Artula.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Doc Merced. Loading
Go
clear na
ahead,
po ba?
ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Okay
Yes,
na po yung sound? Okay, sorry po. Sorry for that. Good afternoon, II family, especially to Dr. Shauba Hussein, CEO of III. Thank you for the knowledge you
Okay ka lang ba? Hindi ka pa?
Hello, ma'am.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you for the knowledge imparted us. I look forward putting all the techniques learned into practice. So my friends, allow me to share with you about the free and leadership. Now, how this leadership more effective? To help uh, to help make leadership more effective, leader can check in our work performance and give regular feedback. It's also helpful for leaders to recognize when this is style can be best utilized, such as
Sabi ko, dala yung
team
dalawa na eh.
members
Dalawa, din na
who
yun
are
eh.
expert in what they do.
Pulong. Wala, kahit wala akong bili, halimbawa sa kanya, natutuwa na yun sa dalawa.
And mute the mic.
Wait. Hello po. Sorry for the my internet is not working well. So, to continue, example of that is a software development team may be given to overall goal of creating new product, but the team is given freedom to come up with their solution and methods of achieving a goal. With that example, leader will provide constructive feedback and suggestions after achieving the goal, whether to improve their performance more or any innovations. More so, if the team is full of highly skilled and experienced people, this is advantage to reach job satisfaction. That's all po. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Ortola. That was the awesome answer. So let us looking forward for that. That laissez-faire leadership, the free and leadership, really a type of management style where supervisors give team members freedom to complete tasks, make decisions, or solve problems without interfering unless the employees request it. So there you have it. At this point, as a moderator, let me give my message to Dr. Shama to share my experience in III. My sincere gratitude goes to the one who made the symposium event possible, the founder and CEO of the III, Dr. Shama. I feel grateful showing your genuine support and concern for us to learn so many things. You always been showered us with knowledge, experience, joining like this symposium, live Global TV Express, and keeping us empowered in our journey to become a good leader. I owe everything to you to be what I am now, Dr. Sham. Thank you so much and God bless you more. Once again, this is Ma'am Laguna, the moderator of Group 5 saying, every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. That's all for today and have a great day. Thank you. Now at this point, may I call on the next sharer from the moderator of Group 6, Sir Aris T. de la Cruz.
Okay, greetings in the name of the Lord. Great day to everyone. I'm Aris de la Cruz. I have here Group 6, or what we call Team Gandhi. I have here Ma'am Evelyn Waperi, Jessie Matriano, Sheena Ali, and Mary San Sidro. Are they spotlighted on screen? Okay, I have here the Group 6. Again, Team Gandhi. Why Team Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi earned a title, Father of the Nation, while as teacher, earned and called second parent of the students in Empire or School of different areas in Philippines. We will present and tell our learnings in regards of educational psychology. Again, I'm Aris de la Cruz from Bagong Silang High School, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao teacher for about 9 years. Dr. Shama tackled different topics in our modules, such as introduction to neuroscience and education, advanced research methods of psychology in education, genetics and education, artificial intelligence in psychology, cognition and education, counseling and educational social psychology, positive psychology and education, and how to develop vision and well-being of an organization. So our group come up to deliver and dig deeper on significance of individual differences and neuropsychology. We already pick questions to be answered and explained as we learn from our very own Dr. Shama and also based on our experiences in teaching field. Based on learnings from our
Mr.
very own
Ellis?
Dr. Shama, and this will be used in teaching in our respective schools. What is instinct and extreme? It is the ability of successful people in that they know how to motivate themselves effectively. The skill of being able to start and finish tasks rigorously is what solidifies their chances at being successful overall. But what kind of motivation is most important? It is motivation that arises from outside the individual, or what we call extrinsic, or motivation that arises from inside the individual, or what we call intrinsic. Before I tell my overview about significance of individual differences, this is the intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation examples are playing sports because you enjoy how they make you feel, staying longer at work because you believe in your work, using positive affirmation because you want to change your mindset positively, investing money because you want to become financially independent, traveling because you want to explore different cultures, working in a team because you enjoy collaboration, learning about personal development because you want to improve yourself, going to the playground with your children because it makes you happy, studying because you are curious about the topics, and trying to be a good leader because you want to inspire. Extrinsic motivation examples are going to work because you want to earn money, studying because you want to get a good grade, helping others, and so forth.
Yeah. Hi, Aris. Aris, we want to add Miss Evelyn because she's in your group, but she didn't open her camera, so we were not able to recognize her to add her in the group here. Miss Evelyn, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
But you didn't open
camera ko, ma'am. Open ang camera ko.
You have opened right now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we will add you now. Thank you. Thank you, Rajaragaru. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry,
As we
Aris.
go on, what is significance of individual differences? Individual differences refer to enduring characteristics that distinguish one organism from another and that are stable over time and across situations. Maybe we can ask ourselves, what are individual differences examples? We have shortness or tallness of stature, darkness or fairness of complexion, fatness, thinness, or weakness are various physical individual differences. Also, differences in intelligence. There are differences in intelligence level among different individuals. Also, we can ask, what are individual differences examples? Individual differences are the ways in which people differ from each other. Every member of an organization has its own way of behavior. It is important for teachers or proctors to understand individual differences because they influence the feelings, thoughts, and behavior of employees and students. Other question could be, what are the three types of individual differences? Individual differences are traditionally been studied as three broad domains: intellectual, personality, and cognitive. It is important to note that although these are often treated as separated aspects for the purpose of investigation, they are intertwined to some degree. Okay, aside from that, we have here Ma'am Evelyn Vaperi from Iligan City National High School, 32 years in teaching science to further explain individual differences. Please keep the ball rolling, Ma'am Evelyn.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Shama, for this opportunity. individual differences, the psychology of individual differences seeks to understand how inter and intra-individual differences in psychological characteristics interact with environmental affordances and demands to produce differences in a variety of personal, work, educational, and social outcomes. Now, I will share 5 importance of individual differences. Number 1, unity in diversity. We need all types of people to produce a community. Unity allows us to accomplish things for greater than we could ever do by ourselves. It combines strength and thoughts to turn it into something amazing. The second one is being unique. We share several things in common, so we need to establish our identity. Embracing our uniqueness means accepting our flaws and imperfections as well as our strengths and talents. It means recognizing that we don't have to be like everyone else to be accepted or successful. In fact, our differences are what we make us stand out and being valued to the world. The third one is decision making. If all are the same, we will not be able to provide different decisions. Human decision making is strongly biased by unconscious mental processes that sometimes produces good outcomes quickly, but sometimes causes us to make irrational choices. Our rational mind rarely intervenes. Fear of loss influences human decisions more than expectation of gains. The fourth one is appreciating oneself. Embrace who you are. Doing something that is meaningful and inspiring each day will help you to appreciate yourself for who you are. Then, when you achieve your goal, you appreciate and love yourself for what you can do. You go out and accomplish more than you make a difference in the world. And the last one is managing others. Able to use differences to succeed in life. Understanding personality differences in the workplace can support teams in working more cohesively, improve communication, and help employees play to their strengths while working on their weaknesses. Thank you for that question, Sir Aris.
Sir Aris, take it away.
Sir Aris.
Si Mama.
Ayun, Mama.
Ma!
Okay. For now, we have Sir Jesse A. Matriano from Quezon City High School, 9 years as ESP teacher. Okay, take it away, Sir Jesse.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our experiences in pertaining to our topic for today. And these are the individual differences as we continue in tackling this topic right now. And the question here is, what are the individual differences in learning? Yes, we are pertaining to the learning and the teaching experience. And as a teacher, individual differences in learning refer to variations among students in how they process, understand, and retain information, as well as how they approach and engage in the learning process. These differences are influenced by a combination of factors, including cognitive, learning styles, motivation, personality traits, prior knowledge, and cultural background. Some key aspects of individual differences in the learning. And these are the variety individual differences that must be of concern as teachers and as educators. Some of the most prominent are the academic ability or the intelligence of the student, the achievement level of the student, and the gender. It plays a big role, the gender, the learning style, and the ethnicity and culture. And for the different aspects and types of this individual differences, there is also another thing that is what we call individual differences in aptitude. In relation with the previous group that they tackled about the multiple intelligences, the aptitude differences in aptitude comes in. And what is aptitude of an individual? Aptitudes are the natural talents, special abilities for doing or learning to do certain kinds of things easily and quickly. They have little to do this knowledge or culture or education or even the knowledge of their interests. They have to do with heredity. Yes, the heredity plays a big role. Musical talent and artistic are important examples of such aptitudes. So we are also determining the different aptitude and differences of the learners pertaining to the multiple intelligences that they have. For example, the verbal aptitude. Some learners are good in language-related tasks. Others in mathematical aptitude. They are good in mathematics as usual. Spatial aptitude. There are individuals who are artistics and musical aptitude. They are good in music. So these differences, they play a big role in the learning teaching process. And the question also is, what are the individual differences, not only the aptitude, but also in personality? Personality refers to individual differences in characteristics, patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. So thinking, feeling, and behaving. The study of personality focuses on two broad areas. One is understanding individual differences, in particular, personality or characteristics, such as sociability or irritability. So individual differences in personality play a significant role in the classroom setting and can have a profound impact on how the students learn and interact with each other. So not only the student interact with the teacher, but also the student interact also with their peers. And different personalities may prefer different learning styles. Yes, and it is evident also in our students' handle that their personality, there is always and compatible learning style where they are feeling confident and comfortable. For example, extroverted students may thrive in group of discussions and interactive activities. They're extrovert, while the introverted students might prefer individual work and reflection. So we observe that in our classroom, right? And next, motivation. What motivates them to learn? It is also the personality took place on that specific time and opportunity. That is why motivation is very important. The motivation within the person and the motivation the outside factor. And also the social interaction, communication styles, and of course the coping strategy. That is a very important and played a big role in the students in the learning teaching experience. And also the learning preferences, the classroom climate, the environment in itself, how is our classroom. And so teachers can benefit from recognizing and understanding these individual differences pertaining to personality to create more supportive and inclusive learning environment by tailoring methods, strategizing, and accommodate diverse personality. Educators can better engage students to promote overall academic and personal growth. Not only the students, but also us educators and teachers. And so additionally, encouraging and collaboration and respect among students with varying personality can enhance the social cohesion and communication within the classroom. Next, individual differences in emotional intelligence. So we are pertaining now in the emotional intelligence of the specific student. So what is individual emotional intelligence? Image result for individual differences in emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or otherwise known as emotional quotient, is the ability to understand, use, and manage your emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, and overcome challenges and diffuse conflict. So in this kind of differences in emotional intelligence, classroom individual differences in emotional intelligence refer to variations of how students perceive, how they understand, how they manage and express themselves, specifically their emotions within educational setting. So that is why we have different kinds of activities to draw everything from them, emotional perspectives, emotional experiences in the activities that we are preparing for them in order to achieve those competencies that we have. So they have this emotional perception, emotional understanding, expression, the regulation on how they express themselves, the empathy, and also their learning and behavior. And to sum up these differences in different individual difference in learning, we have these pros and cons. So the number one is we are having what is the pros and cons of this determining the individual differences of our students. Number one, the pro is personalized learning. So we can have this personalized learning with them in order for them to develop themselves more. Increased engagement individually, and it also enhanced inclusivity. So they're included in our classroom, not exclusive. And it is also improved academic performance of the students. Yes, because we already connect to them and relate to them on their specific situation and that specific day or lesson. And also positive classroom climate. But what are the cons about these different differences to recognizing them? Number one, for us educators, it is time constraint. So we have many tasks to do, but focusing on the single child is maybe will take us a lot of time to prepare for them, to adapt to them, to talk to them. And next is the assessment complexity. You have to prepare the complex assessment on different learners under differences on the different instructions that we had. And another thing, the cons is potential labeling. Why? Because yes, we know the situation of the learner, but how about the perception of other learners with their peers? They will say that their classmate is like this, their classmate is introvert, extrovert, or there will be some labeling. And another is, so that is why we have to be very careful on identifying them and not calling them by that label, but it is we have to keep it on ourselves. And number four is balancing expectations. Why? Because there is also a danger that those different students may compare their activities to each other. Why is it that your activity is like this, that your activity is like that? So we have to strategize on how to give it to them. And of course, last but not the least is the classroom management. Because traditionally speaking in the Philippines, we have this notion one way or another. We must be very careful of include or grouping them according to their individual differences. But all in all, this will help us in order to achieve what is really the education is all about. So that is why every student is a unique puzzle piece for me. It is a puzzle that we have to complete, and it is our role as educators to celebrate and embrace their individuality, finding the right fit that completes the beautiful picture of learning. And so that ends our individual differences in learning, and we may proceed now to Miss Sheena Ali to discuss to us the neuropsychology. Thank you so much.
Thank you, si Matriano. So, a pleasant day of learning to all of you, especially to our professor, Dr. Shama. Thank you, ma'am. Since we have so many learnings in our class, Group 6, Team Gandhi opted to have two topics for this wonderful symposium, coordinated, of course, by our Bagasol. So, our topic is about neuropsychology and all its facets is neuropsychology. The brain and all its wonders are still evolving science up to this day. During our first few meetings, we discussed being the left brain and being the right brain and all its characteristics to its dominance. But today, we'll be discussing our recent studies and facts for neuropsychology. To further discuss this, may I call on my classmate, Ma'am Mary San S. Sidro, who is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Our Lady of Fatima University, took up her National Teachers College, a licensed professional teacher with 10 years of teaching classroom experience, mainly in tertiary level, and a registered psychometrician. Currently taking up Master of Arts in Education, majoring in Special Education, a mental health advocate, my classmate, Ma'am Mary San S. Sidro. Go class.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Sheen. I would like to first check if my audio is clear from your end.
Yes, classmate, loud and clear.
Thank you so much. As mentioned by Ma'am Sheena, Group 6 opted to prepare two topics for this symposium. So, Ma'am Sheena and I will be focusing on the neuropsychology. So, the very foundation of educational psychology or psychology itself is neuropsychology. That's why it's very important for us educators and to some mental health practitioners to set our facts right. So we all know that neuropsychology is a very young field of science, and with the vast and fast-paced, information-driven world that we are living right now, we must be updated with the very basics of neuropsychology. During the first weeks of our meeting, we discussed being left brain and being right brain. So, is it a myth or is it a fact? So, according to the recent studies conducted by the American Psychological Association, the terms left-brained and right-brained have come to refer to personality types in popular culture, with an assumption that people use the right side of the brain are more creative, thoughtful, and subjective, while those who tap the left side are more logical, detail-oriented, and analytical. But recent findings, especially the research from the University of Utah, stated that there's no evidence for this so-called neuromyth that we are that that being spreaded right now. So the research analyzes our resting brain scans of 1,011 people. Age ranges from 7 up to 29, measuring their functional lateralization, which is the specific mental process taking place in each side of the brain. It turns out that individual differences don't favor one hemisphere or the other. This is according to the University of Utah research by Jeff Anderson. It is absolutely true that some brain functions occur in one or the other side of the brain. For example, language tend to be on the left side and attention more on the right, but people don't tend to have a stronger left or right-sided brain network. So, John Hopkins University and the Smithsonian Science Education Center said that right-brained versus left-brained idea is actually considered a neuromyth. When we say neuromyth, these are common misconceptions about brain research. It actually started during the 1970s and early 1980s because of a research team tracked individuals who had undergone operations to sever the corpus callosum. By the way, as mentioned in our previous meetings, the corpus callosum, this is the bundle of nerves or fibers that separates the left and right brain hemisphere. Now, the researchers found that the two hemispheres of the brain are specialized for different functions. However, the Smithsonian Science Education Center explained that misinterpretation of these findings led to the associations between specific brain functions and personality types, and this gave rise to the popular neuromyth of left-brained and right-brained people. Now, what we can conclude from all of these researchers? So, we are all whole brain users. So the brain indeed was divided into two different parts, each responsible for various tasks and processes. For example, as mentioned earlier, the left brain is responsible for language production in most of us and handles counting and memory recall.
while the right hemisphere deals with spatial reasoning and estimation. However, to manage the both and more complex tasks of daily life, a mountain of research and thousands of brain scans have proven that we use both sides of our brain equally. So I hope that each one of us in this symposium, we can set the facts straight that we are all whole brain users. So I think that's it for the group 6. So as we end our session, I would like to leave everyone with a quote from Sir Francis Crick. He is a Nobel Prize winner in the field of medicine. He said that there is no scientific study more vital to man than the study of his own brain. Our entire view of the universe depends on it. So, together with my group mates, let me check our names for a while. From Team Gandhi, Ma'am Evelyn Waperi, Sir Jesse, our leader and moderator, Sir Aris de la Cruz, and my friend, Ma'am Sheena Ali. We're wishing you all a very good day and good evening wherever you are in the world. And I hope that you have learned something from us today. So I would like to give the floor now to Dr. Liberty Cabanilla. Take it away, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dr. Cabanilla, it's your group's turn now. Thank you, Dr. Shama. Sorry, I forgot to mention Dr. Shama. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Shama.
very much, Ms. Marisan Isidro. Good evening, world. Good evening to the International Master Diploma in Psychology Group. We are fortunate to join in this international symposium. To all participants, viewers, spectators, world leaders in the group, and of course, to the most popular world leader influencer in her time, Dr. Shama Hussein. I am Liberty Cabanilla from Justice Cecilia Munoz Palma High School, an advisor, a clinic teacher, WINS coordinator, and an assistant COVID safety officer. Our group is the real dreads or residue from the batch. We are not at all connected and we are not friends and not even acquainted then. At first, we have the hard time to schedule the collaboration. Or we have different work schedule. Furthermore, Miss Genevieve Nas is not yet a teacher. And Mr. Jimmer is from Masbate, far apart from our place and hard up with his internet connection. This seems impossible at first, yet things patched up and we had met thrice in a Google Meet to collaborate for a topic for us to discuss. The group abilities, capabilities, and expertise come up with this presentation we are to present tonight. Once again, a blessed day to all. Here are the group participants in tonight's International Symposium. The only gentleman among us is from Masbate City, who had just graduated with bachelor's degree in primary education in Southern Masbate Roosevelt College. He had worked as an assistant trainer in TESDA and presently he's self-employed in his personal photography and video editing. Yes, his love of teaching has never been disregarded and wished to be an educator. That's why he enrolled in this program. But fortunately, he has already passed the licensure examination for teacher last December, and he is now a licensed teacher. Let's all welcome Mr. Jimar Ruby. Sir Rubin.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible po, ma'am?
Am I audible?
Okay, how's the internet connection, Sir Jimar? Still working?
Still surviving, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Secondly, we have Miss Arlene Ditusing, currently working at Camp Crame High School at Quezon City as ESP teacher. Edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. In the international subject, I think this is the values education. Guidance advocate, and she never thought that she would become a guidance teacher. It's hard, but as time goes on in her experience as guidance teacher, she would always have a heart, especially with children who are reprimanded, but it is necessary to understand these children in their problems and things like what they did something wrong that should not be done. She believed in the saying of Robert Frost, I am not a teacher, but a awakener. A round of applause to Miss Arlene D2C. Ma'am Arlene, I think Ma'am Arlene is not around.
I'm here, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
A blessed evening to all po.
Thirdly is Miss Genevieve Nas. She finished college with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in microfinance at Bicol University, Legazpi City, on April 2014. And after graduation, she is employed in the banking industry and worked as sales and service associate at Asia United Bank Corporation here in Manila. And after 8 years, she currently holds the position as service manager in the same bank. Until such time that she realized the love for teaching. So this year, she took up teaching certificate program at Villager Montessori College in Quezon City in the hope of becoming licensed teacher, professional teacher someday. And as Les Brown said, it's never too late to set a new goal of her dream. And last of our panelists is Ms. Mercy Di Duque, rendering 21 years in teaching profession, full-fledged educator for 15 years at San Antonio Elementary until finally got promotion as Master Teacher 1 and moved at Balingasa Elementary School for 4 years. Her teaching career continued, then got another promotion as Master Teacher 2 at Cruz Naligas Elementary School. She is also a curriculum instruction writer, a God advocate of 10 years, a speaker of different school, master teacher in charge in different school organization, and now a proud member of International Institute of Influencer. Ma'am Mercy Duque. Okay. And our group has chosen to elaborate learning on the difference of psychology and educational psychology. To start, may I? Who among you want to share the experiences upon the preparation of this speech? Ma'am Mercy, please. Really be glad to share your experiences.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everyone. Of course, in this institution, I have a lot of experience here, especially Dr. Shama, and to my classmates, to our colleagues also who are here. Of course, I'm very proud of saying that I am here. So in this, I really thank Dr. Shama for having me here, and also Dr. Gloria for recruiting me here, and really I love it. So today, really very much appreciated because of educational system that Dr. Sharma and then the leadership system she gave to us really recognized by everyone, not only in the Philippines, now it's in all over the world. So really, the leadership done by Dr. Sharma was grateful to me because I really use this every time that we have seminars, meetings. I always give her example as my example. So salute to Dr. Sharma.
Thank you very much, Miss Mercy. And to start, let's have the rolling, the ball rolling. Mr. Chimar M. Robin.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening
How are you,
po.
sir?
I'm good.
Okay. What do you think is educational psychology? First and foremost, we have to define what is educational psychology.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ma'am Liberty. I really appreciate the effort you put in our group. But anyways, good evening, everyone. How's your day? I hope you're doing good. Hello, Dr. Shyama. Pleasant evening to everyone. Okay, so we go back to the question, Ma'am Liberty, of what is education, educational psychology. Okay, so before that, psychology is derived from two Greek words, psyche and logos. Psyche means the mind, soul, and spirit, and logos means study. In combination, is the study of mind and behavior. Educational psychology is the study of how people learn, retain knowledge, understand some various learning styles, and how people learn in different settings. Okay, so there are many factors contribute to student learning and development. But the most important factors contribute to the student learning is us, the teacher. We are the one who
Sir Jimar, are you still there? Our apology to the group and to the audience because Sir Jimar is living far near in a farmland. He is only traveling on a long roads outside on their territory just to catch up their internet connection. Sir Jimar. Okay, into this juncture, may I ask Miss Mercy Duque to give the difference of psychology and educational psychology.
Okay, so
I'm sorry for that, Sir Jimar. We will come back to you later. We wish that you can still recover.
All right. So the difference between psychology and educational psychology. So psychology is intimately connected with education and it is inseparable. Yes. And then psychology is the study of human behavior. So what are human behaviors? Human behaviors are how persons act and conduct themselves in ways that include physical, mental, and emotional activities and are influenced by variety of factors. But what are some common human behaviors? Of course, when we talk about human behaviors, common human behaviors involve the actions and the conduct of persons which include conflict, communication, cooperation, creativity, social interaction, tradition, and work. And when we talk about education, of course, education is the process of modifying human behavior. Examples of behavior modification, which can be used to increase behavior, are praise and approval, modeling, positive programming, shaping, token economy, self-monitoring, and shaping. So methods which can be used to decrease behavior are we can have the extinction, reinforcing, incompatible behavior, relaxation, self-monitoring, and shaping. So when we put together educational psychology, this deals with human behavior and its modification through learning. Therefore, educational psychology is concerned with the application of principles and the techniques of psychology to solution of the problems confronting the teacher. And of course, in this, there are objectives of educational psychology. And then the first objective, of course, is to provide teachers with the different basic skills related to teaching. And also, it gives teacher guidelines in order to solve problems of teaching and learning process. Also, it helps to understand the scientific knowledge. Yes. Another one is to instill teachers a spirit of inquiry for their professional growth, of course. That's it. Yes.
Excellent. Yes, ma'am. Excellently said, Ms. Mercy Duque. Sir Jimar, are you there? Are you okay now with your signal? Sir Jimar, do you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I will just make sure.
The next question, follow-up question of what you've been discussing a while ago. Why do you think it's important, educational psychology, important to teacher education? Sir Jimar.
Okay, thank you for the question, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, very much, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay po. Okay, why is educational psychology important to teacher education? It's because it studies the factor that affect the growth and development of individuals. It helps educators understand the students' need to succeed at school and at home. They also teach teachers plan, listen, evaluate students' progress. Teachers are expert in the subject matter and know what works best for teachers for each student. In addition, as a teacher, we are like a philosopher who guides our student. We are responsible to be aware about growth and development of the students. It is very important to the teacher to know that how learning takes place, help the student to unlock their future of learning styles and his potentialities to be initiated and motivated. It enables a teacher to know problems of individual differences and treat every student on his or her merit. Go back to you, ma'am. Thank you po.
Wow, amazing. Okay, that's a good idea on tackling about the individual differences of children and the strategies that are to be impart on them and to solve whatever behavioral problem they are having then. So, to this juncture, Ms. Arlene Tussey. Yes, ma'am. Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Blessed evening, everyone.
What are the characteristics of effective teacher in educational psychology? What do you think are those characteristics?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the question. Okay, so what are the characteristics of effective teachers in educational psychology? So what makes a good teachers? Number one for me, good teachers are strong communicators. Good teachers listen well. And number three, good teachers focus on collaboration also. Good teachers are adaptable and, of course, engaging. Show also empathy to the learners. And good teachers have patience. And, of course, bring the real world into the classroom as a teaching strategy. So, as a good teachers are strong communicators, we believe that as a teacher, we need to become good communicators. So it is not only talking, but we need to listen also to our student. Okay. Also, in good teachers listen well, as a great communicators, start with listening and conveying understanding in our learners. For the good teachers, focus on collaboration. According to Booker T. Washington, as he said that if you want to lift yourself up, of course, lift up someone else. So we believe that teaching is at its best in collaborative environment where teachers support one another, share ideas, provide feedback, and work together to achieve school and district initiatives as well as individual goals. As a good teacher, show empathy also. Uh, Empathy because it's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another for creating a positive classroom environment. When teachers are able to put themselves in their students' shoes, so they can better understand their needs and be more responsive to them also. For the good teachers have patience also. So uh, in the what I had read in the practical teaching tips, the one important is being patient or strongly in the power of patience when working with students. So this takes emotional control on the part of the teachers, but the reward is well worth the wait. So by being supportive, referring students to the most helpful resources, and allowing each day to offer a fresh start for every learner. So we found that even the greatest expectations are often exceeded. So the last is bring the real world into the classroom as a teaching strategy. So using a real world examples and tackling real world problems in the classroom can make learning more meaningful to students. And it can help spark excitement in gaining knowledge about important issues. Okay, so there is research to support the value of authenticity when teachers use real world problems and scenarios. Okay, so not only does it makes the lesson more meaningful for students, but they become properly engaged. They also become more aware of the choices they could make in society. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tosin. And I believe of all those characters that you have mentioned, what do you think the most effective among those characteristics that we will be used as an educational psychology?
For me, everything mentioned, everything that I mentioned earlier, because it is very important that you are united, have long patience, have empathy, and especially a good listening.
Okay. And I agree very much for all those good characteristics that we must have. So in teaching, we don't only teach, we must have the empathy, we must have bring the child into the real world. Well said, Miss Lucy. Okay, Miss Genevieve, what do you think the challenges of education and psych? Are there challenges?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. First of all, before I answer that question, Ma'am Liberty, I want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Shama and, of course, my professor in PCP, Dr. Gloria Bien, for bringing me here. I know, as you know, I am not in the academe and I am in the banking industry, which is very far from your industry, but I know there is a purpose why I am here. And I promise that I will use and I will bring all the learnings that you impart with us in our field. And because I believe that educational psychology is create impact not only in schools, but I believe that it also create impacts in other aspects or in other field, especially in our field in the banking industry. So going back, educational psychologists, though their roles are very broad and important, it requires a great understanding and love since they focus on cognitive processes, memory, and effective teaching. With their discipline, they create potential to improve life of almost every individual, not just inside the classroom, but they can also create impact from the workplace, in home, in family, and beyond. However, significant challenges remain. First is that I think nowadays we could still feel and see the gap between the wealthy and poor. The access to high quality education remains difficult for some. Some children take risk and physical danger just to go to school, while some has all the needs or resources that they need. Even though literacy rate improve, there are still some places like small faraway towns wherein students choose to not continue their studies. Rising violence, bullying, and sexual harassment, and even suicide committed by our students are also disturbing nowadays. Also, the online classes, which were being practiced since pandemic, are become a challenge to educational psychologists. That's why it's very important that they exist in our education. So today's challenge is for them to engage, I think, the policymakers and practitioners on their findings and observations and how they will create the best practices in education and help equip the current and the future teachers with this knowledge to create rigorous and engaging classroom environment so that all issues must be addressed and help each other to cope with those challenges because I believe that educational psychologists believe that literacy and education improve both life and the length and the quality of life. Thank you, ma'am. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. So it is still challenging on us as educational psychologists within. And what do you think the impact of educational psychology into the class, Ms. Genevieve?
For me, before, as we all know, children with since educational psychology is concerned with the processes and problems that influence learning, understanding how people absorb and retain informations, educational psychologists form instructional processes and help ensure improve academic outcomes for students, regardless of their abilities, resources, and environment. They have greatly benefited children, especially those with special needs. Before, as we all know, children with special needs were segregated from the rest of the student population. But now, children with special needs are given a chance to achieve the same academic standards as their non-disabled peers. Educational psychologists helps teachers create strategies so that students has a chance to learn regardless of their abilities. For example, in a classroom, students with special needs are taught alongside their classmates and they receive individual, small groups, whole class instructions, as well as opportunity to discuss lessons with peers of varying abilities and interests. Also, because educational psychology is able to diagnose or to see certain special needs, for example, the common ADHD, dyslexia or dysgraphia, they can able to recommend and devise strategies to assist children with any of these special needs. They will be able to help them overcome any obstacles they may be facing in their learning and growth. And they will also be able to assist those students cope and manage their mental health, especially some students nowadays carry mental health problems such as depression, excessive anger, and anxiety. As we all know, there is no single learning strategy that works for every student. So with the help of educational psychologists, since they uses human development theories to be better understand the children learning styles, They are a very great help in the education system in the country, all over the world. Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing, Miss Genevieve. I'm very happy to hear. You are not an educator yet, but it seems that you will be a great educator someday. I believe with those what you have said, the implementing of effective strategies, for example, for those children with what you have special needs like your dyslexia, attention deficit, those with mental health problem, we must have to implement an effective strategy. We must have to select the learning methods that will be applied to them, understanding individual differences so that we could give the needs of their learning process, knowing what is important for their learning, and of course, not only in their learning, on their daily living. Building a conducive learning environment. How do we have to build a conducive learning environment? We are not only teachers. We must have to find resources to give them and build a conducive learning for environment for learning. We must have to design, organize, and evaluate their needs as educational psychologists. We have to provide proper guidance. That's why guidance counselors has a great role on this part and evaluation of their learning outcomes. Okay. With this, I want to ask Ms. Mercy Duque, what are the most important purpose of psychology?
Okay, uh, the most important purpose of psychology, I think, the changing behavior, and perhaps it's the most important because psychology strives to change, influence, and control behavior to make constructive, lasting, and then of course the changes in people's lives. From this treating mental illness to enhancing human well-being. So changing human behavior is a major focus of psychology. But among the most significant purposes of educational psychology is to encourage and promote teaching and learning methods. Moreover, it enhances an individual's purpose, especially learning method. The study of educational psychology can help teachers learn how to use their mental power and strength as teachers. So, to sum up here, there are four major objectives of psychology, which are first is to describe, and then the second one is to explain, predict, and change or control behaviors. So, of course, these are the goals for the foundation of most theories and studies in an attempt to understand also the cognitive, the emotional, and the behavior processes that people face in their daily lives. And of course, when we talk about these goals, while psychology is a broad field of scientific study, it is not that hard to see the importance it brings to various aspects of human society. By providing deeper knowledge as to how human thoughts and actions are related to biology, mental processes, social relationships, and interactions, especially psychology helps facilitate split human performance, enabling also individuals to make healthy lifestyle choices or overcome the obstacles that inhibit them from making smarter decisions. So, of course, when we talk about describe, of course, you may describe aspects of daily life with no conscious thought or effort. For example, when you are labeling, for example, an object, it is an act of describing and observing. However, describing in psychology can have different meaning.
Okay, and then the next one is explain. In addition to describing, of course, psychologists may seek to explain behaviors. The goal of explaining is to answer questions about why people react to a certain stimuli and how various factors can impact personally and mental health. So psychologists often use experiments to formulate those theories. And then the next is the predict. So making predictions about how humans think and act is the third goal psychology. So by looking at the past observed behavior, psychologists aim to predict when or it offers or they might exhibit the same behavior. So the last one we have here is the change or control. Of course, psychology often aims to change, influence, or control behavior to make positive, constructive, especially meaningful and lasting changes in people's lives. So in this case, we are a client to perform the action. We would have to feel the guilt for the harm themselves or others. Especially, psychologists might approach the action with different goals like describing, explaining, predicting, and changing. So therefore, psychologists also bring a high level of education. So they do research in order to understand these different goals. And of course, it may be difficult for an individual to come to these conclusions independently, but the most important is there are always a solution. Thank you for that, Ma'am Liberty.
Okay. Thank you very much. My loudest applaud to you, Ma'am Mercy, and the rest of the group, Genevieve Blias, Arlene Tusing, and Chima Rubin. We will end this for teachers who love teaching, teach children to love learning. And in learning, you will teach, and in teaching, you will learn. Good day and thank you very much. We are looking forward to see you in another learning platform in educational psychology. Virtual hug to you, Dr. Shaman. Thank you very much for the experiences. Thank you, and good evening, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course, not the least, Miss Epifania S. Ong. Welcome, ma'am. It's your turn.
Thank you, Ma'am Liberty T. Cabanilla. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm Epifania S. Ong, Head Teacher 3 of President Corazon C. Aquino Elementary School, and the moderator for the topic Embracing Learning Diversity, Nurturing Individual Differences in the Educational Environment. My teammates are Ma'am Marie Chris A. Tatad, a Teacher 2 and a Guidance Designate of President Corazon C. Aquino Elementary School. She completed her master's degree at Dr. Carlos Lanting College and is also enrolled in her PhD on Educational Management at PIC. Another member is also Ma'am Rodelyn E. Siyoko, again, a Teacher 2 of President Corazon C. Aquino Elementary School. She is a classmate of Ma'am Marie Chris Tatad, as both of them graduated at Dr. La Carlos Lanting in their master's degree, and they are also enrolled in their PhD at PIC. The other team member is Ma'am Ferlin V. Orense. She is a Teacher 3 of San Diego Elementary School and is currently enrolled in her master's degree at PIC. The last but not the least is Ma'am Josephine J. Favon, a Teacher 3 of San Diego Elementary School, and also having her master's degree in Marikina Polytechnic College. Our topic for today is all about embracing learning diversity and nurturing individual differences in the educational environment. Embracing learning diversity is essential for nurturing individual differences in the educational environment. It recognizes the various students' backgrounds, unique learning styles, and possess different strengths and challenges. By embracing this diversity, educators can create inclusive classrooms that cater to the specific needs of each student. This approach promotes personalized learning, allowing students to engage with the curriculum in the way that suits their learning preferences and abilities. By valuing and celebrating individual differences, educational institutions can consider supportive, empowered environment that maximize the potential of its student. My question is, how can educators create an inclusive learning environment that supports the diverse strengths and challenges of individual differences? Can you tell us more about it, Ma'am Marie Chris Tatad? You're muted, Ma'am Tatad. Please unmute.
Good evening, everyone. To answer that question, ma'am, creating inclusive learning environment that embrace and support diverse strengths and challenges in individual learners is very much crucial for us educators. So here are some strategies that we can employ inside our classroom. So number one, we have established a positive and respectful classroom culture. It means that educators should foster a culture of respect, acceptance, and inclusivity from the beginning. It encourages an open dialogue, active listening, and empathy among students. It's also established clear guidelines for respectful behaviors and address any instances of discrimination promptly. And then we have number two, differentiated instruction. So what is this differentiated instruction? It means it recognizes that learners we have are diverse. They have strengths and also they have challenges. So by this, we use a variety of teaching methods, materials, and assessment techniques to accommodate different learning styles, abilities, and interest offers. And then also we have this, so that we have this flexible option for students to demonstrate their understanding and provide appropriate support to help them succeed. And then we have also this what we call individualized learning plans. So this is for those teachers who has learners inside their classroom with specific learning needs or disabilities. So mostly we collaborate with our special teachers and then the counselors and most of all the parents to create a personalized goals and accommodation and modification that create or address the unique challenges faced by these learners. And then we have also culturally responsive teaching. What is this? It means that it acknowledge and celebrate the cultural backgrounds, traditions, and perspective of all students. We incorporate this diverse in terms of materials, the resources, and examples that reflect students' identities and experience. So by this, we can create opportunities for students to share their cultural knowledge and experiences with others in the classroom. And then we have also the collaborative learning. So collaborative learning, it means that this is a must because by this, we see that they have this peer support. We have inside the classroom, we have our group work assignment, we have group work activities which create teamwork and cooperation. It also emphasizes the value of diverse perspective that create a safe space for students to engage in discussion, share their ideas. And then we have also the ongoing assessment and feedback. Regular assessment regular assessment for students' progress using various methods such as formative and summative assessments. We have also the observations, and of course, we have our portfolios. So we provide a timely constructive feedback that focuses on growth and improvement, individualized feedback to address the unique needs and challenges of our students, each of our students rather. And then of course, we have this what we call professional development. And then why we need? Because educators should engage on ongoing development to enhance their understanding of inclusive practices and strategies. What are the example of this? Attends workshops, conferences, training sessions that more on focus on diversity, equality, and inclusion by means of collaboration of our colleagues and of course best practices. We can create a supportive networks of educators. And of course, our students, our learners are from the community. The parents are from the community. So it is a must that the parents and the community must involve in the learning process. So we communicate regularly with the parents to seek their inputs also and feedback. And of course, we encourage our families to to participate in school activities, events, and of course the decision making processes. Collaboration with the community also provide additional resources that support our students. So creating an inclusive learning environment is a never-ending process. It's ongoing. It continues. It requires continuous reflection, learning, and improvement. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Chris, for that very enlightening discussion. Educators can create inclusive learning environments by implementing differentiated instructional strategies that cater to the diverse strengths and challenges of individual learners. This includes providing flexible learning pathways, embracing various learning styles, and fostering culture of respect, collaboration, and acceptance within the classroom. Um, how can educators adapt teaching strategies to address individual differences in motivation and promote students' engagement in the learning process? Can we hear more about it from you, Ma'am Ferlin B. Orense?
Um, Good evening, good day, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Ma'am Ong, for that very brilliant question. But before answering the question, I would like to thank this opportunity to III through Dr. Shama for giving us the opportunity to share our knowledge and experiences for and a symposium like this. So honestly, I never imagined myself to be shown internationally. But with that, thank you so much, Dr. Shama, for unending support and for your impossible made possible for all of us. So you're one of a kind, very humble. So thank you so much. Mabuhay po kayo and in Tagalog, and God bless po. So let's go back to the question of Mamong. How can educators adapt teaching strategies to address individual differences in motivation and promote student engagement in the learning process? So my answer is education adapt teaching strategies to align with the varying motivational factors of students, recognizing that different individuals are motivated by different factors such as intrinsic interest, personal goals, or external rewards. So educators can design lessons that tap into this motivation. For instance, incorporating real-world examples, providing opportunities for student choice,
and autonomy. So, and linking the content to a student personal interest can enhance motivation and promote engagement in the learning process. Example of that is in a English literature class, the teacher allows students to choose their own novels for independent reading assignments. So catering to their individual's interest, this autonomy fosters a sense of intrinsic motivation as students engage with text and find personally engaging and meaningful. So once again, thank you so much, through Dr. Shama, Mom Ong, I hope everyone who listen globally, internationally can learn something from my answer. Go back to you, Mom Ong.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Ferlin. Educators can adopt teaching strategies to address individual differences in motivation and promote student engagement by incorporating varied instructional methods, offering meaningful and relevant learning experiences, and providing opportunities for students' choice and autonomy. And, and next, uh, how can, let's see, okay. How can metacognitive strategies be taught and integrated into the learning process to enhance individual differences in self-regulated learning? Can you tell us more about it, Ma'am Rodilyn Isyoko?
Thank you, Ma'am Epifania S. Good day to all of you. Educators can teach and integrate metacognitive strategies, such as goal setting, self-monitoring, and reflection to empower students to become self-regulated learners by explicitly teaching students how to plan their learning, monitor their progress, and reflect on their understanding. Educators provide the student with the tools to take control of their learning process. This approach enhances individual differences in learning by equipping students with the skill to adapt their strategies based on their unique strength and weakness. In this process, I personally, as a science grade 3 teacher of President Corazon C. Aquino Elementary School, using a metacognitive strategy by guiding my students through the process of setting goals for their experiments, monitoring their progress, and reflecting on their findings. Through this iterative process, students develop a deeper understanding of their learning process and gain insight into their individual strengths and areas for their improvement. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for enlightening me to this kind of seminar. And now I improve my teaching skill. And that's all po. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Rodilyn Isyoko. Metacognitive strategies can be taught and integrated to the learning process by explicitly teaching students about the importance of self-regulated learning, provide guidance on setting goals, monitoring progress, and reflecting on learning strategies. Now, since we are into this one and we are now into the online learning, we may learn more or may we know something about how can educational technologies be leveraged to personalize instruction and accommodate individual differences in the learning style and preferences. Can you give us guidance about it, Ma'am Josephine J. Famon?
Yes, Ma'am Ong, good evening. And good day, good evening, wonderful people around the world. First of all, before I answer the questions, Ma'am, I want to take or to grab this opportunity to thank Dr. Shama for having us here in this course, Educational Psychology, since from the very beginning of this course. I'd like also to thank Miss Ferlin Urense, our group mate for bringing me here. Although I don't have any idea what is it before. And to the rest of my group, Ma'am Ong, thank you. Ma'am Tatad and Ma'am Shoko, thank you very much. Okay. Now, to answer your question about how can educational technologies be leveraged to personalize instruction and accommodate individual differences in learning styles and preferences, it's by offering opportunities tailored instruction to individual learners. Adaptive learning platforms, virtual simulations, and online resources can provide personalized learning experiences that cater to individual differences in learning style, preferences, and abilities. By leveraging technology, educators can offer interactive and customizable learning materials that allow students to progress at their own pace and receive immediate feedback. Like for instance, in a language setting or in a language learning setting, students use a language learning app that adapts to their individual progress and provides targeted exercises based on their strengths and weaknesses. The app offers different modes of practice, such as audio exercises, visual flashcards, and interactive quizzes, allowing a student to engage with the material in a way that suits their learning preferences and needs. So I have here prepared another example. No? So this technology has become an integral part of teaching and instructing students. It allows them to develop critical thinking skills, learn new concepts, and creatively express their own ideas. Technology also enables educators to accommodate the three main learning styles, and these are the visual, the auditory, and kinesthetic. Even teachers who prefer a traditional lecture teaching style can use a few technological tools to supplement the material. If the teacher has access to a computer, laptop, then these tools can meet the specific needs of each type of learner. And that's all. I thank you, Ma'am Ong. Thank you, Ma'am Shama, for having us here. And back to you, Ma'am Ong.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ma'am Josephine. Educational technologies can be leveraged to personalize instruction and accommodate individual differences in learning styles and preferences by offering adaptive learning platforms, interactive multimedia resources, and personalized learning pathways. These technologies can provide tailored content, adaptive assessment, and real-time feedback, allowing students to learn at their own pace in the preferred modality and with the personalized support and ultimately enhancing their learning and learning outcomes. And lastly, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Shama for being such an inspiration for this kind of activity, and also to my teammates for their insightful contributions during the discussion on embracing learning diversity, nurturing individual differences in the educational environment. Your expertise and perspectives have shed light on the importance of creating inclusive, supportive learning environments that cater to the unique strengths and challenges of every student. Your valuable insights and practical strategies will undoubtedly inspire educators to foster a more inclusive and personalized approach to education. And once again, thank you so much, Dr. Shama, and thanks everyone. Thank you so much.
Hi there. So it seems that all the group have shared. Dr. Sham, I think, is disconnected. But on her behalf, she's extending her thanks to each and everyone. So probably with this experience that we have with this international symposium, this gives us another empowerment and in our respective schools and serve us a sort of influencing them to be really a part of this global trend of becoming as global teachers. I think that another studies would be given to us by the III through the leadership of our great mentor, Dr. Shamosi. So with that, anyone could have her parting words, or could I ask Dr. Lita Sarmiento to give her insight, because I do believe among our group, she is the, shall we say, the seasoned guidance counselor and everything. Dr. Lita, can you say something while waiting for Dr. Shama? Can you open your mic? Unmute yourself.
Oh, wow, for that very nice introduction of me, my friend, Dr. Gloria. Okay, I have just written something here in our group chat. I said, this is a very great and wonderful night for everyone, with all the learnings delivered by the different groups. I would like to say I'm very overwhelmed with what I have learned. Although I have been practicing this things in the service, because, I have been working as a guidance counselor since 1983. I spent much my years in the public school. I spent 29 years in the public schools, and then the rest of my 54 years in service, I spent it with a private school. And most of those years, I was designated and still designated as guidance counselor. So, during our times, the learning of guidance, let's say educational psychology and psychology per se, right, is really very different from now. Times have changed, times have passed, and there are so many, changes and developments and growth, most especially in the field of education. So we are flexible teachers. I know our profession is this hard. It's so tiresome, But then if we love our work, as old as myself, they always ask me, why aren't you tired? Why don't you stop working and working? You are already very old and yet you are still in service. But I always answer, I'm enjoying my work. Ever since. Teaching is already my passion. Yes. And then if you love your work, Ma'am Glo, you will be enjoying it all your life. Kaya kahit sabihin mo that I will rest now at this point in time and have another, interest, maybe I will still be in this profession. And even you, after your retirement, you will still look for these things that you have been doing. And that is why I am 110% sure you will not get away from this profession, Dr. Glo. And we will be together. And so you see, really guidance and counseling and psychology are very interesting subjects in the field. And this help as much as educators. Without these things here, we won't be able to understand our children, the people around us, and everyone who will be working with us. Masyado na bang mahaba yung
Yes. You have empowered us, considering Dr. Lita is already, ilan taon ka na nga, ma'am? 75? 73 years old.
Yes, 25 by September. Okay, so before I end up my very long speech, I would like to take this opportunity, Ma'am Glo, to thank Dr. Shama. I'm so happy to have met you, Dr. Shama, and one day, for sure, we will be talking with you, with Dr. Bien, and one other friend to take up some important matters regarding these kinds of trainings that we
Truly,
have.
Dr. Shama have given us all the opportunity for us to be a part of this international influencers activity of International Symposium. So probably can we open all our cameras to have a final shot since I think it's so sad that she's unable to come back anymore and her connection was truly within disconnected. Sige po, let's open our cameras and have our photo shots.
Okay.
Ayan.
Okay na.
Sige, picture tayo for those who are having. Next slide. Siguro in the end, you can shout out Dr. Thank you, Dr. Shama.
Okay.
Wait. Tingnan ko ilan pa yung nasa more. So all in all, we are 52 in the group. So with this, probably we can end up and proud to say that we have made it. So hopefully by next week, we're going to have our final activity, the culminating activity. Ms. Carol, I have made a template for our graduation profile background. So see you then. Just in case you have a suggestion for the final presentation, or we used to have a sort of a graduation song for us to render towards the end of the program. If you have any idea or suggestion in the group chat, you may post para po we can leave something which will be remembered for this group for the International Master Study in Educational Psychology. Okay? So without further ado, okay na po yun? No more suggestion or what? Dr. Yuli? Yung mga season, actually, this group is already our fourth international program. No? But some of the group here, some of the members here are very loyal. No? Si Ma'am Marites, si Ma'am Romano, Ma'am Epifania, no? Who else? Ma'am Carol, Ma'am Esther, and a lot more. Ma'am Sipeda. So, I think there'll be upcoming activities still towards the end of this, parang sabi niya last time, September. So, just keep in touch and let's hope for the best and let's see if we can meet personally as we're trying to create together with Dr. Yuli a sort of a meet-up. We can come up with a seminar, then through hybrid, Dr. Shama will be our speaker. Then hopefully, as she said, she will be coming to the Philippines, and that will be a great opportunity for us to see her in person. So with that, marami pong salamat. No, we have, what time is it? It's almost 8:30. We have consumed almost 3.5 time. So with God's favor and blessing, goodbye everyone. Thank you so much for all our effort and support. Yes, Dr. Yuli, anything to say?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Salamat
you
po.
po. Thank you. God bless everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, and God bless us all.
God bless us all po. Let's
you,
keep posted sa
everyone.
ating FB Sana kumpleto tayo.